Hi guys, welcome to yet another episode of my e-newsletter. In a blink of an eye, almost half a year is already over, but first and foremost, let's talk about what happened in May. So first and foremost, let's talk about the rejuvenation of the Lentor area together with the Kang area. Right, so in this area, it has always been a relatively quiet estate, but recently this year it was announced that 3 residential sites has been put up for sale for the government land sales program. Right, so the first one had Lentor Central, which is already in the confirmed list, together with Lentor Hills Road Parcel B, which is right beside Lentor Modern, and last but not least, there's an upcoming block at Lentor Gardens. Right, so this strip will actually inject a total number of 1,200 units in the whole area, which will really rejuvenate the whole area as well. Right, so in advance, I want to congratulate buyers of the Parc Greenwich DC, where if you actually managed to get a unit there, a huge congratulations to you. And why do I say that? Because we look at the upcoming land plots and also the Lentor area, they are just merely a 10 minutes drive away. But I can see that the price gap between the executive condominium and the private condominium is only $800 of PSF. So it's a very big price gap. Right, so people who have actually bought in Parc Greenwich DC, I will foresee that they were able to make quite a bit of money when the unit TOPs. So the Yoshunga and Lentor area currently do not have a lot of HDBs there at the moment, so the nearest ones will actually be towards the Amokyo area, but with the upcoming Thompson East Coast line, we can actually predict that the government will actually introduce more HDB plots there in the area as well. Right, so I see this Lentor Yoshunga Upper Thompson area as the next Sengkang model, right? So there's a lot of potential in that area, so if you're an investor, that's somewhere to consider in the OCR region, because I foresee that properties there can actually appreciate a little bit. Right, so now let's talk about what actually happened next in the OCR, RCR and the CCR region in the month of May. So if you recall in my last video, I mentioned that one has to potentially look away from the OCR region into the RCR and CCR region for potential other valued buys, right? So it's also very interesting, in April, it's a very abnormal month, and why do I say abnormal? Right, because it's the first time in the many months when the RCR and the CCR region outperform OCR region in terms of the number of new launch units sold. So let's break down the numbers, right? So we look at the RCR region, the total number of 289 units were sold in the month of April, followed by the CCR region, the total number of 206 units were sold in the month of April. Right, so if you look at the OCR region, the outside central region, only a mere 158 units were sold. So what exactly is a reason that OCR region is not doing well anymore? So let's find out. So the main reason is there is simply not enough inventory, especially in the OCR region anymore. Right, so let's take a look at one of the very popular developments at Kang, the floral residences. So the 2-bedroom today actually costs $1,900 per square feet. So what the developer has done is to move prices from $1,300 all the way up to $1,900 per square feet today. So to give you another example, what you can actually buy at the floral residences today, just slightly more than 2 years ago, you can get a similar unit at Avenue South Residences at Ocean Park. So what you can buy in Kang today, you can actually buy in Ocean Park just slightly more than 2 years ago. This is how much prices have moved, correct? So second thing is that, if you look at the number of transactions in the new launch area, the transactions that crossed $2 million, they actually amount to 54.8%. So as a buyer, if you have a $2 million budget, so naturally one will move away from the OCR region into the RCR or maybe even the CCR region to spot other valued buys. Right, so that's why OCR region in the month of April has not been performing well. So I'll give you another example. Just slightly more than a year ago, with a $2 million budget, you can actually get a 5-bedroom at Treasure and Tampines in Tampines area. Right, so a $2 million budget today cannot actually buy you much anymore in the OCR region. But again, the question is, if you look over the last 10 or 12 years, is OCR, RCR or CCR region doing better? So let's find out. So if you compare over the last 12 years among the different regions, the OCR region actually showed the highest level of growth at 62.4%, followed by the RCR region at 35.8%, and finally the CCR region at only 13.2%. So over the last 12 years, if you have bought a property in the OCR region compared to the RCR region, you would have made more profits in the OCR region alone. So that's a very interesting fact, because today, more buyers are actually buying in the RCR and CCR region due to the lack of supply, but it has seen that over the past 12 years, units in the OCR region actually made more money. So now, let's find out why. So what is the OCR region doing better in the last 12 years? And the one main reason has really the increased accessibility and connectivity due to the MRT lines that have been built. Right, with the downtown line and Circle line already built, one can actually look forward to the upcoming Thompson East Coast line and the Cross Island line. So after the Thompson East Coast line and Cross Island line is built, 8 in 10 households will actually be 10 minutes or less away from every MRT station. And just to give you another fun fact, when these lines are built, if you compare Hong Kong and Tokyo, Singapore has the longest railway track, even longer than what in Tokyo and Hong Kong. So this really shows that the government is actually trying to increase connectivity from all areas of Singapore. Even previously we were to stay in more ulu areas, even like Jurong, Woodlands or Sembawang, your travel time is drastically reduced even to the city area, right? So the second reason is of course the cooling measures that were announced in December. So foreigners have actually have their ABSD increased to 30%, and this will actually show that if you actually buy into a CCR property, it's harder to find a buyer right now. Your foreigners will typically like more to actually buy into the CCR area. So that's why you can see that OCR has performed very well over the last 12 years, and I do not foresee that changing anytime soon. But unfortunately right now there's not much inventory. The upcoming inventory of course the Ang Mo Kio Avenue one and also the Lentor model that's coming up. But we can see that OCR region overall has been seeing very strong sales for the last 12 years. Right, so last but not least, before I end on this newsletter, it was also announced that Lakeside Apartments have actually decided to go on block. We are predicting that Lakeside Apartments is crossing $2,000 per square feet over at Jurong as well. So prices are really moving, right? So before I come to the end of the newsletter, I really want to thank you for watching this yet again. So if you do like this video, hit the like button and do consider hitting the subscribe button as well. If not, I'll see you the next time. Take care and bye bye.